Hello, welcome to the National Literacy Agency online storytelling program. Today I have a story from India for you, and the title of this story is The Blue Jackal. So it is story time. You look and you listen. Well done. Once upon a time there was a jackal that walked out of the forest. It was on the edge of town, hunting fireflies. The jackal saw a firefly that was bigger and fatter than the rest of the fireflies. And there he was, down low on his paws. He pulled back his ears and he just waited to pounce on the firefly. But the firefly was a split of a second faster. And the jackal just flew and fell over the wall in a backyard. It was the backyard of the cloth dyer. He fell into a tub of blue dye. He struggled and struggled. It was cold, so cold, and it seeped in through his fur. How he yelled, "Help! Help! Help!" cried the jackal. But nobody came. The next day, the cloth dyer opened the doors of his shop, and he went into his backyard. He looked into the pot, and to his horror, he saw the jackal. And the blue dye, his precious blue dye. He was angry, and he took the jackal by the scruff of his neck, lifted the jackal from the pot, took him over the wall, and threw him over the wall. "There! Go now!" shouted the cloth dyer. And the jackal ran and ran and ran back into the forest. And he stopped when he came to a stream. He needed to take in some breath. And he needed to drink. And he drank. And there he looked at his own reflection in the pool of water, and he saw that he had a magnificent blue colour. Looked at himself and said, "Oh, what a magnificent blue! My fur is blue. All the animals in the forest are going to be so jealous of me." And he walked in the forest, all proud as he paraded his blue coat to the rest of the animals in the forest. There was a monkey. And the monkey looked at the jackal and bowed. "What kind of an animal are you?" "A magnificent one, of course," replied the blue jackal. And again the monkey bowed. And there was a leopard. And the leopard looked very suspiciously at the blue jackal, but again, like the monkey, bowed. And there were two pairs of parrots elephants, snakes, that all bowed when they saw the blue jackal. "Oh, I can get used to this," said the jackal to himself. And word was spreading that there was a creature that was blue, a royal creature. Yes, word spread. From far away, the owl hooted and said to the rest of the animals, "Woo! Have you heard about the blue creature, the royal creature that walks in our forest? There, look, I can see all the animals walking to visit." And the snake hissed, "I heard that even the birds from far away are afraid of him." And the word spread and spread and spread, and all the animals in the forest were walking to see the blue creature, the royal blue creature. And the jackal went to his jackal friends. They were not impressed, and they did not bow. They just crowded around him. They just poked him with their paws, and some even nipped at him. And one jackal said, "Oh, how did this happen? Oh, you do look silly. You do look silly." "Silly? Silly, you say? Do you mean to say that the goddess of the forest is silly?" "Certainly not," said the oldest jackal. "Well, you see, yesterday there was the goddess of the forest, and she said, 'You will be the king of the forest, and I will give you this color, royal blue, in honor of your royalty. So do you still say that I look silly?" And again the oldest jackal said, "Certainly not," and he was the first one to bow. And one by one the rest of the jackals bowed too. Well, one elephant took the jackal on his back and walked proudly through the forest and trumpeted for all the animals to gather and see their new king. And among the animals were the jackals. The jackals were small, scruffy, and the blue jackal looked down at them and said, You shouldn't be in this forest. You're scruffy. No, I am not your king. I just want you out of this forest now." And the jackals just looked at each other and the other animals, and they said, "Is he talking to us?" "Yes, I'm talking to you. You do not deserve to have me for your king. Get out of the forest." One jackal tried to say something, but there was a tiger. She took out her paw and hit him, and all the jackals ran out of the forest. But they gathered again, and they were really angry But how could he be so rude to us? How could he talk to us like that? And the oldest jackal said, well, we all know who the king is. All we have to do is prove it, and I know how. And he told them how. They all went to the highest mountain. It was a full moon. There was a full moon. And the oldest jackal, now, together at 3. 1, 2, 3. The jackals, and their howl travelled among the trees and in the forest, and it reached the blue jackal's ears, and the instinct made him look up at the full moon, and he too went, oh! And all the animals were confused, and they looked at him. He looked down at the animals. He was surprised at himself, at how he howled. What? Haven't you ever seen a king howl before? And the elephant just dropped the jackal off its back. No, we haven't. And the monkey, it's nothing but a scruffy old jackal. And all the animals looked at the blue creature. Yes, he is a jackal. And the tiger said, he fooled us, and growled, and snarled, and the elephants trumpeted, and the snakes hissed, and the owls hooted. And all at once they said, get him! And the animals all ran, and the jackal ran and ran and ran as he was being chased. They chased him out of the forest, and not a blue hair was ever seen again in the forest. Not one blue hair. Nobody knows where the blue jackal went or what happened to him. But the other jackals walked proudly back into the forest. So that is the end of my story today. Well, once a jackal, always a jackal, no matter how deep the dye seeped in through his fur. So which part of the story did you like best? Why did you like that part of the story best? Was there any part of the story that you did not like? And what was that? Did you like the way I said the story? We're open for comments. So until the next story, bye-bye for now.